You know, ever since the elections, I feel that people haven't been talking about America like they used to.
次はこちらの映像です。有名なアポロ11号の月面着陸の様子ですよね。ですよね。で、当時通信衛星を介して日本に伝えられました。
Now, all I've been hearing about recently is the French elections. France is now on the cusp of electing their first female president, as well as an ultranationalist right-winger and so-called threat to world stability. I'm beginning to think that our threat to world stability might not be so special anymore. But if you think about it, there's a lot of these guys popping up. So France, if you do decide to elect her, just keep in mind that you might be a little blazy. But there has to be somebody talking about us. Let's see. Ice caps melting. North Korea fails a missile test. I mean, what do you expect, guys? Here we go. Iran opens museum dedicated to American arrogance. Well, guys, it's about damn time. Now, this is very interesting, and I do have some criticisms for you, so if you keep in mind, so what exactly is this Museum of American Arrogance? The better question is, where is it? So we go to Tehran, Iran, capital city of Iran, located in prime real estate between a desert and a fault line. And yes, it is as big a shithole as Los Angeles. But more specifically, we go to the former site of the American Embassy. To understand the importance of this building, we need to go back to 1979, the Iranian Revolution, a movement in the country of Iran to overthrow the Shah, who was a US-backed ally. It was led by the Ayatollah Khomeini, who was living in exile, living as the world's worst mall Santa Claus. You see, the Shah had been living in exile in the United States, and revolutionary forces had demanded that he be returned to Iran. The United States did not comply. So on November 4th, a group of university students loyal to the Shah, tired of protesting in the streets and on campus, stormed the gates of the US Embassy. They took it over, and this is the period known as the Iranian hostage crisis. Here, 35 American embassy workers were held hostage for 444 days. This situation was not solved until the day after Ronald Reagan's inauguration. So if you're familiar with the story, maybe it's because you've seen the movie Argo, or you're old, or you're a nerd. Basically, if you liked the movie Argo, you're probably old or a nerd. It's one of the two. Because the US and Iran left diplomatic ties severed, the embassy remains untouched to this day and looks almost exactly as it did in 1979. In the museum, visitors can still see old furniture, old technology, including typewriters and spy equipment. And to this day, there is still a family of pet rocks that still lives there. Again, that joke is for old people and nerds. I'll have a chart right up here to show you how that works out. So while the interior is mainly a history museum, the exterior is more of the art exhibit. We have a couple photos here. So this one is the strangest ad for USA Networks I've ever seen. And this one, this is as close as Disneyland Tehran you're gonna get. And this one, it says, America the Great Satan. I'm sorry, don't you mean greatest Satan? But the most iconic piece in this museum is a sculpture of the students storming the embassy gates on that fateful day in 1979. Forever immortalized in bronze, this piece... Hold up. Actually, that appears to be paper mache. Well, Iran, I'm glad you could put American property to good use. And to honor you, I have an idea which I think you might like. So Iran, in order to honor you, I decided to open the American Museum dedicated to Iranian incompetence. Come on, let's go have a look. So here at the Museum of Incompetency, we like to go over all of Iran's blunders throughout all of their history. Here, we have a replica of an ancient Persian soldier. Notice the wicker shield they used. It was great for deflecting small arms, rocks, arrows, but it didn't seem to stop Greek spears. Xerxes, that was pretty incompetent. Now you might recognize this character here. This is Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, the former president of Iran. Now, interesting fact about him, he denied the Holocaust. This here is some propaganda some idiot made. And here it is, the highlight of the museum. I'm very honored to be here with Mohammad Javad Zarif, the Iranian foreign minister. Not really, but it's just a replica. But you too can come down to the museum and renegotiate the worst nuclear deal in history.
Never, ever, ever in my life have I seen any transaction so incompetently negotiated as our deal with Iran.
On second thought, maybe this museum isn't the best representation of Iran. But where else can I go to kick it with Zarif? There is no American embassy in Iran, and there's no Iranian embassy in America. This is really the closest thing we have to an Iranian embassy. But how can we move forward? How can we open better lines of communication? Because really what I want us to do is get along in the end.